Well, hello everybody. I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day and that you had a terrific January and February, because I know the show is a little bit later than usual, and that's because we did some really exciting stuff, and we're going to share it with you a little bit later on in the program. But for now, Gung Hai Fa Choi, for those that celebrate Lunar New Year. We're excited that it's going to be another fantastic year. And here at Act 3, we love to bring you interesting and wonderful events and stories that we hope will make you smile. So we're glad that you tuned in on this fine February day. And if you're watching us in early March, we're glad you're watching us then as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you in a moment. Grab yourself a beverage, make yourself at home, and let's start the show.
I'm sitting on the edge of love and happiness. Never experienced such a moment as this. So if you got that good feeling in your body and you want to bring this moment to life, come with me, we'll hit the town. Let's go right now and live the life. I just want to shine like the sky up like a sunset, living with no regrets. I just want to shine.
Thank you very much, Cathy, and welcome to our viewers. I'm your host, Kevin Wagner, and I'm joined today by the CEO of Nanaimo Foundation. Her name is Tracey Brown. Tracey, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Nanaimo Foundation is something that's been part of Nanaimo for four decades.
Over 40 years,
Yeah, sure enough. But maybe for our viewers that aren't familiar with it, tell us a bit about the foundation and what you guys do in the community.
Sure. Well, there are over 200 community foundations from coast to coast to coast across Canada. And we're the one that focuses on Mid-Island. And so we sort of are overlapping the same as the school district, if you will.
Yep.
And so we serve Nanaimo, Ladysmith, Wencesville, and Gabriola Island. And we're like a connector where we connect folks that want to be generous to the causes in our community that matter. We focus on three pillars. One is we steward community assets forever. And so we've been gifted assets over a period of time, well, our 40 years, over 40 years. And now we've got just over $16 million in assets. And so we steward those assets forever. The other pillar that we have is granting. So we're supporting communities, community charities to support their work. So we give out the proceeds of those funds into the community through our granting programs. Mm-hmm. And then the third is a leadership piece. We want to be able to convene conversations, scaffold the charitable sector, and support them in ways beyond that, any way that we can beyond the granting. Yep. And part of that work is through our community initiatives.
So it's a really multifaceted approach for the foundation. There's really quite a few different avenues you guys are covering.
Yeah. We really like to make philanthropy easy and fun. And so really supporting folks that want to get involved in the community but don't know where to start. There are so many charities doing great work in our area.
There certainly is. Certainly our show, where we've been privy to so many great charities that are part of the community. And it's never occurred to me that someone that wants to reach out, help, donate, be that philanthropic person in the community, they might need a little help about trying to find clarity and options, things like that. That's where the foundation can really help.
Absolutely. We'll do the research for them. You know,
Yeah.
if sometimes folks come to us and they say, oh, well, we're interested in supporting youth, or we're interested in supporting the environment. Well, then we'll do a swath of all of the latest work of the charities working in that particular area and give them a brief on that. We also have lots of information on our website with our charitable partners doing good work in the community. And, then we work with some folks that just want to give one gift and then have their funds distributed into the community. So I have one gal that comes to me once a year. She gives us a gift of stock, which has extra tax advantages for her, and a list of all the charities that she wants to give with the amounts. So she doesn't lean on us for research at all. We just make it easy for her.
Oh, that's
yeah.
It's just interesting how many different ways the foundation can serve people that are trying to reach out and help. And I understand right now you're part of a a community education campaign, a bit of a new initiative. Tell us a bit about that. It might not be part of your kind of typical mandate at the Nanaimo Foundation, but it's something you're spearheading. Tell us a bit about that one.
Yeah, we're working with the Canadian Alcohol Use Disorder Society. We call them CODS. Their acronym is CODS. And that's been a really wonderful partnership. We've learned a lot through that collaboration. And where we started that program about a year ago, we convened a workshop with frontline workers to do some education. We also partnered with Island Health, and we did some public health information. And then we also met with some doctors that are working on alcohol use disorder. And one of the biggest things that I learned from that workshop is that, people drink for a lot of different reasons. Sometimes you have problems with alcohol just because it's in your genes. You don't have the turn off button. Sometimes it's family situations, stress, or, that's the household you grew up in and you saw it modeled to you. There's so many different reasons why. And there used to be, it was just that, if you wanted to stop drinking or control your drinking, it was AA or nothing else. And now there's a plethora of different treatments available for folks.
And it's so important for people to know that. And also, it doesn't discriminate, does it? Regardless of socioeconomics, age, gender, any of that. It's just, it can really reach out to the community in a far more negative way. So.
Well, yeah, it's so readily available, right?
I'll tell you what, why don't we, if you could, maybe share with us where people can get more information, not just about the foundation, but also that new initiative that's called Rethinking Drinking. Is that correct?
Yes, Rethinking Drinking. We have our final education session coming up on March 25th at VIU. And that's going to be a really great event. It's featuring a documentary called Smashed. And then we're going to have a presentation from the doctors that are working in treatment in this area, local docs. They're really fantastic and great speakers. And then we also are having a panel discussion afterwards.
Okay, and that's March 28th.
March 25th.
I beg your pardon, March 25th. See, I forgot already. I'm so sorry.
And our website is nanaimonewhope.ca, www.nanaimonewhope.ca.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Tracey, for sharing not just the foundation, but also this Rethinking Drinking initiative. And thank you so much for coming to join us.
Thank you so much, Kevin. It's been wonderful.
Good stuff. We're going to send it over to Rita now.
Thanks so much, Kevin. I'm here tonight with my guest, Peter Letts. And Peter is the board chairman of Volunteer Nanaimo. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you could just give us all a little bit of a background on what Volunteer Nanaimo is and what they actually do.
Right. Well, Volunteer Nanaimo is a nonprofit organization that supports volunteerism in Nanaimo. We're a small organization with a huge impact, and we support families and youth and seniors. We provide services in the community for tax preparation. We have an autism library. We've produced a monthly newsletter, and we've got a lot of different activities going on for a lot of different people in the community.
Can you just give us a little bit more of an idea about the impact we're actually having on the community?
Right, yes. Well, for youth, we have the Youth Network, and they do a whole bunch of different activities around town, including supporting different groups with their activities. And there's the park that they engage in at Beaufort, and they do the Coats for Christmas support. Volunteer Nanaimo also has the Angels Network, which supports families at Christmas time and helps families and their kids out throughout the year. And then, of course, our Silver Adventures program for seniors is engaging them in a lot of different activities throughout the year and making sure that everybody is well supported. So yeah, there's a lot of different things going on. And of course, we support volunteer organizations with connecting up with volunteers. So on our website, we have an opportunity for volunteers to go and see what volunteer opportunities are available for them in the community.
And Nanaimo, like so many other organizations, is really suffering from funding losses, lack of funding in so many different areas. But I understand Nanaimo is going to be hosting a big event coming up in April. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. We're really grateful to Little Events for producing the Red Heart Breakfast that's going to be held on April 29th. At the Convention Center, and it's an opportunity for people to participate in this event and provide some donations for Volunteer Nanaimo. So we're really looking forward to hosting this event.
Well, that sounds great. So how can the community actually be involved in that?
The community can go on to the Volunteer Nanaimo website. We'll have some information about the event. They can register for the breakfast, and then once they attend, they'll have an opportunity to hear speakers and provide some opportunity for them to donate.
So there's not actually a price or ticket price to come to the breakfast. The breakfast itself is free, I understand.
That's correct. Yeah, the breakfast is free, and it's just an opportunity for everybody to get together and bring forward potential donations to support Volunteer Nanaimo and all the great work that we do.
So we're hoping that this will have some kind of impact. How would that look?
Yeah, well, the donations would help Volunteer Nanaimo maintain their programs for seniors and youth and continue the great work that they do in the community.
Well, that sounds like it's really exciting, and I know that you're really hopeful that this will be the kind of event that will really sustain the organization for some time going forward. I understand that there's going to be speakers at the event as well.
Yes, we have a number of speakers. We have Cathy, Holmes from our board speaking at the event, and we have yourself is going to be speaking, I believe. So we're really looking forward to hearing different speakers, and I think there's going to be some entertainment happening as well. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting event. Looking forward to it.
Super. Well, they're going to be putting the poster up probably as we're speaking, along with our website information, so people can look there to see if they wanted to get a little bit more information, maybe get a group of people together to come for breakfast. And I know it's not going to be a long, drawn-out event, so we hope that a lot of people will be able to attend. Thank you so much for coming out to talk to me, Peter. I know that we're all very busy, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and a final pitch for our website, it's volunteernanaimo.ca. So you can check that out and read all about the great event that's coming up.
Super, thanks so much. Over to you, Cathy.
And with me right now is one of our hosts, Teresa Ostman. And it's like the 6th year, I think, that you're putting on the Wellness Fair. Tell us all about it.
6th year for the Wellness Expo. It is a great event.
Yes.
I do put it on, but I can say it's a great event. And what makes it great is that the exhibitors come out. There's 75 of them.
Yes.
And the attendees come out, and they are there to learn about wellness. They really want the knowledge. They're not there just to pick up swag, which sometimes happens in shows.
Yes.
But they want to know about wellness and well-being and how they can help themselves take charge of their health.
Well, and I think it's really important that we do take charge in our health, because there's so much going around right now that we have no control over, right? We have no control over some of the negative stuff. But if we let that pile up inside of us as well, that can cause a lot of problems. And so to be able to find new solutions to rest and relax and, really, really important. Yeah. What made you decide you wanted to do these shows? Because it's been a while.
Well, it has been. Yeah. It has been. As you know, I published the Wellness.News Choice for Healthy Living, and we published 5 of them here on the island. And not every business can afford to advertise every month. And so we wanted to put on the Wellness Expo so that a smaller company could come and meet a few hundred people in one day. And we wanted attendees to have exposure to a wide variety of different health and wellness exhibitors.
And one of the things that you pointed out too is that you have a multitude of speakers, right? And I think, you know, that it's really important that you have the variety of speakers that you have. Who do you have? Can you share with us some of those people? Are you keeping that a secret?
No. And I'll have to, in the Nanaimo Bulletin that comes out on the 25th of February, the whole list is there, and also on the website, which will be on the bottom of the screen. But we've got someone talking about hypnosis and how that helps with self-care. We've got a lady, a stylist, talking about clothing and how you can have a small capsule of clothing and make them work for a variety of ways. We have a lawyer who's going to talk about planning and estate planning and that sort of thing. We've got an equity solutions person talking about how you can use the equity in your home to make your life better as you get older. There's just, and nutrition, and just, there's so many different things, and it's all free. There's 12,
better.
12 presentations, all free, door prizes, and just amazing community involvement in the event, because wellness isn't only health things and supplements and drugs. It's also looking good, feeling good, having a cozy home, and our exhibitors are right, the whole gambit, kinesiologists, physiotherapists, down to energy healers and everything in between. So you really will get a full array of information, and it's a non-threatening environment. You can just get your information.
I love the idea about going to a place where I can ask questions. You know, the networking aspect is also really important, but the idea of asking questions that maybe you know, we've had a lot of people on the show. You have obviously spearheaded so many amazing wellness guests. You know, everything from having people with tuning forks to, tissue therapy to, I mean, everything under the gamut you've brought to the attention of our viewers. And so it's almost like your wellness show is a giant Act 3 all in one place.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Right?
It is, yeah.
When are you having it again, and where's it going to be?
It's on February the 28th. It's a Saturday. It's at Beban Park Social Center here in Nanaimo, 10 till 5. And it's going to be great. Come on out and just find out what's out there to make your life better and more well-being in your life.
Well, here to all that. What a great way to start the season. I think that's a brilliant idea. So, call to action. You know what to do, everybody. Go and check it out at the Beban Center on the 28th. Have a great time, everybody.
Thanks, Cathy and Teresa. I'm really excited to say that I've got Bern Muller from the Salvation Army New Hope Center with me today. Welcome, Bern.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's a great pleasure to be here.
We're really glad to have you. I understand, Bern, that you've got some information for us. A lot of people have noticed a lot of construction activity at the Salvation Army site on Nicol Street. What do you have to share with us about that?
Thank you. We're very excited about what's going on down there. And many people have seen all this red as has been assembled, 8 pieces all bolted together to make the building. And we're extremely excited that that is going to be opening in April. So we will be moving into that new space, 34 beds opening, and we'll be accommodating people as well as having a dining room that'll be fully functional, able to serve meals, and we're extremely excited about that. Plus, we've had some really good news that there will be a renovation funded to the existing building, which means that we will have new washrooms and shower facilities and a general upgrade just to make that part of the building very, very welcoming to support people. And when we're all finished, we'll be able to provide housing and shelter and programming for almost 90 people, which we're extremely grateful for. Of course, that's with the support from community partners and with our Hope in the Harbor event that we just completed last year. So lots has been going on recently.
There's a lot of community support. And just to recover, you said that's 90 beds, 34 beds opening, you said?
34 beds opening plus an existing 34 beds and over 20 already in our CRF.
And are those beds earmarked for anybody particular? Are they general population?
The New Hope Center downtown really provides support for people that are coming in from a situation where either they are homeless or unemployed, and often addiction is part of that picture. And what our focus is to try to help people to move into a place of wellness and to understand that they have agency in their own lives to be able to make tomorrow look different than yesterday. And we work with them in our programming and with our casework to help them build personal plans that will help to move them into that direction of independence.
So it's a real point of first contact, Bern.
Absolutely. Sometimes we say it begins with a cup of coffee, and when people come into our cafeteria and we start to have that conversation with them, we're looking for opportunity to help them to see that they can move into a very different direction.
A wise man once said the hardest part of outreach is the first 20 feet, and I truly believe that. So what a great opportunity. How big of a improvement in services does this represent for what Nanaimo's traditionally had in the core?
Right. Well, down in the core, the Salvation Army has operated for many years, and what this new expansion is providing for us is an opportunity to pretty well double our capacity and to expand our programming and our supportive services quite a lot.
I understand that's not the only news that you've got for me today, that there's some improvements coming for the 8th Street property that a lot of folks are familiar with as well. We've had lots of questions.
That's very true. So the Salvation Army in Nanaimo does operate out of 2 campuses. We have the downtown center, and we also operate out of our core. And in the core, we provide community and family services that supports families and children, provides programming and all kinds of groups that help people to connect and to build their own resilience and to experience a more fulfilling life.
And the focus there is on helping people remain housed, so you're hitting both.
That's correct. Yeah, there's a full continuum of services. It's amazing to me when I speak with people, everyone has a story about how the Salvation Army has had a significant impact in people's lives that they know. And it's such a privilege to be a part of that and to help people.
I'm super grateful, and we had many discussions with the team here before taping about how our individual lives have been, or someone we know have been touched by the New Hope Center. We're gonna wrap up really quickly, but what's the best way? There's a lot of folks who are gonna wanna know, what's the best way we can support these new pieces that are happening?
Yeah. Well, there's one wonderful way where people can participate. We have a CRU, a community resource unit. It's a food vehicle, and it is operating now in its 3rd week on the streets. We're delivering breakfast meals. That's a wonderful opportunity for people to help us, either through supportive donations, or they can also help us as volunteers with the food programs, with the cafeteria, with the work on 8th Street. There are so many opportunities. I just welcome people to pick up the phone, reach out, and to become a part of this program.
Well spoken. We've just put the contact information for the New Hope Center underneath, and we encourage anyone out there that wants to get involved to reach out. Volunteer hours are needed. I'm going to toss that over to you, Elspeth.
Thank you so much, Jeremy and Bern. We're very excited to know that the New Hope Center is going to be opening again soon. It's wonderful for all of Nanaimo. But now I get the privilege of having the last segment with someone who's very special to us, who is very exciting, and we're thrilled to welcome our very own host, Cathy Holmes. Welcome,
hello.
Beautiful lady.
It feels so weird to be on this side of the interview. I got to be honest with you.
Well, it shouldn't feel weird because we've got something wonderful to talk with you about. Tell us about the recent Women of Influence Nanaimo Awards and what might have happened. Very exciting during that event last week.
Yes, I got to be honest with you. I'm still blushing, and I'm still very, very delighted and humbled at the incredible generosity of being named the Breathe Fire recipient of the Women of Influence Awards in Nanaimo.
We're thrilled for you. That is so exciting. And breathe fire.
Breathing fire. So it's like I can almost feel the dragon in me coming out.
So for those of us who know you, we know that Breathe Fire is so beautiful on multiple levels, talking about who you are and what you do. What can you tell us? We're going to clip out in a second, but what can you tell us?
We're going to clip out really quick. So in just as few seconds as possible, you know, the Win Awards really celebrates 133 women who are in 11 different categories. Wow. Breathe Fire is only one of the categories, and this category sort of talks about how people are sort of rising from the phoenix and doing something wonderful as a result of it. And so usually it's meant to be, you know, someone who's gone through adversity, walked through a path that's been challenging, and they take that and turn it into something that the community appreciates, values, and respects and loves. And this show has been the homage to all of that.
That's amazing. We are so excited. And I think now we're going to take a moment and look at your speech from that very exciting event.
And without further ado, the winner of this year's Breathe Fire Award, Cathy Holmes. In this new rebirth, I own my greatness. I stand strong in my belief. I will leave here a better person. I believe, I believe,
I have to breathe because I always feel like a bridesmaid and never a bride. So this is really incredibly special. So at the top of my notes, I wrote, take a breath. So I'm going to do that. The Breathe Fire category honors resilience. And looking around this room, I see so many women who I know, who I've gotten to work with, who I've gotten to stand with, that have more resilience in their hangnail. They're incredible, beautiful, wise, wonderful women, and men too, but the women are pretty excellent. Every one of us has walked through something. Some battles are visible, some are not, but what connects us is that we go through it all together. We may not always do it gracefully, but we do it together and we keep on going. What I know for sure is nothing happens alone. In all the work, in the volunteer roles, I am surrounded by champions. And while we're here, and I know it's already been touched on, and we get to celebrate, I also just want to take a moment to honor the families and the emergency response champions of Tumbler Ridge. More than ever, we need to stand together and support each other. The tragedy hits us all. And as a grandmother of 4 who I adore in Fort McMurray, where fires are regular, I can tell you that sitting on the edge of your seat is something that I will never take lightly. And I believe none of us can anymore. I'm really deeply grateful for all the people that have stood beside me. And I want to just do a quick shout out to some people in this room that mean the world to me. And there are so many of you. But Susan Borax and Judy Stephan, thank you for being my steady place, my truth tellers, my comedy relief, and my reminder to keep walking ahead no matter what. Todd from Rogers, Howie from Rogers, and of course Doug from Rogers, 3 of my closest and dearest friends, and our family for Rogers. And this is them signing me out. So I'll just say most of all, thank you, Blaze, and the Win Awards and the selection committee. I'm deeply honored.
You managed to say a lot, but what else would you like to say?
Well, there was so much more I wanted to say, you know, because, and I know I started to say a little bit in the interview about, you know, that it takes everybody. And the reason why the reason why this show exists is because of people like yourself and all of the people that are in this studio and around the room. You know, it's the volunteers that show up. None of this is done by ourselves. You know, we were so lucky to have Todd and Howie and Doug were at the event, which I have to tell you gave me some anchor that I truly needed. But at the end of the day, you know, this is about our community. It's not about an individual. We stand up high and we're recognized because of every single one of you guys that made it possible for us to stand up. You're the ones who gave me the leg up so that I could walk ahead and do this work. And without you guys, it would not, none of it would make any difference. None of it wouldn't have happened. So my honor is you and our community. I will say, our community means so much to me too. So I'm still very emotional. You can tell. I've never won anything before. And so I felt like a 5-year-old in, my elementary school class. So it was really special.
Well, it is special, and you've been very special and are very special. And all we can say is you just keep going and breathing
as long as you guys
fire.
come with me, as long as you come with me.
We will.
Unfortunately now, this is the end of this episode.
Oh.
So I got to say goodbye to everybody. But thank you. Thank you so much. Mwah. And now I'm going to tell everybody more stuff because there's more. There's so much more. Listen, you guys, you heard on today's episode that there's a lot of people that need help. We had the Salvation Army on, we had Volunteer Nanaimo on. One thing Rita didn't mention, and while I'm very excited to be speaking at that event, and Rita will also be speaking at that event, what you may not know is that Volunteer Nanaimo may close its doors unless we get some money through the doors. So it's more than just come and have a breakfast. She is far too humble to ask for the help that we desperately need. Those programs help our community significantly. So if you can find it in your heart to donate, we would be very grateful. We know that there's a lot of sources out there, a lot of places to put your money, and we know how hard it is for individuals. So please know that everything you can do is gratitude. And if you want to volunteer and support, we'll accept that too. So thank you so much for being part of Act 3. Thank you for the honor of letting us come into your living room or watching us on your YouTube station or wherever you enjoy the program. And we look forward to our March episode where we get to celebrate spring. And I know that I can't wait till it gets a little warmer. I'm sure you can't either. So have yourself an amazing day. And thanks again. Thanks for joining us on Act 3.